So today we are going to be talking about our personal goals. As, business owners, we take the time to plan out our kind of business goals and where we see our business going and what we want to do to get more clients and more employees and everything like that. But we also think it's really important to kind of outline your own personal goals as well and have that, work-life balance where you're aiming for something in your personal life as well as your professional life. So we sat down and wrote down, some different goals that we have for ourselves. So we're going to talk about those and how we plan to implement some of them and why some of them are our goals and things like that. So, do you want to do me do all of mine and you do all of yours, or go back and forth?
Go back and forth. We can ping back and forth. And I apologize, I'm a little under the weather, so a lot of throat clearing going
on. Okay. So one goal I have that I kind of experienced a little bit over the last month or so is putting my phone away like an hour before I go to bed and not playing Candy Crush, up until the second I go to sleep, or checking emails or scrolling on Instagram and Facebook or whatever it may be, but just really putting that away and letting my mind and my body kind of just relax, before I go to bed. I used to just keep it by my table and get in bed and scroll through, and then it'd be an hour later, after I'm trying to go to bed, and I'm oh, I've been on my phone doing nothing for an hour and now I'm tired. So that has been something I've implemented since I was on my honeymoon, because I couldn't be on my phone because I didn't have service in the middle of the ocean. So it helped me sleep better too. I felt like I was more rested when I woke up, and I fell asleep quicker instead of having millions of things kind of running through my mind. So the way I'm going to do that is just to do it. That one's a little bit easier. I have a timer on my phone now, so at 9 o'clock, so I'm a grandma and I like to go to bed by 10 p.m. It goes off and I go plug it in and leave it in the room instead of, keeping it with me.
Let's see, what's one of mine? A big one for me, I guess I'll start with the first one I wrote, is watching less TV. TV is one of the ways that I really kind of detach from my crazy busy day, but I'm also learning that what you're watching and listening really gets into your soul and really does affect your mood and your attention. So I am trying to watch less TV and fill that time with more, not necessarily, definitely positive things, but just more constructive things that really add value to my life, as opposed to watching, reality TV that really has no benefit to my everyday life at all. So
I can kind of feed off of that. So I love to read, but I read complete trash. I love, murder mysteries. I love Nicholas Sparks, anything and everything like that. So one of mine too is to read more business related books. We have a whole bookshelf over here full of books. I've read 0 of them. So that's one of my goals, because I love to read, and so I'm not going to give that up, but I'm just going to add more, kind of like you're saying, constructive activities, more even just personal growth and, business growth and things like that, more concrete books that benefit, like you're saying, my mind, and not just reading about, love and death and all that kind of stuff.
And those are great, right? Also, too, to detach, but so piggybacking off of yours, one of mine is reading at least one book. It takes me forever to get through a book. I cannot just sit there and read. We went to the beach, a 5-hour drive. She literally did not put the book down the whole drive, and I'm I can't just sit there and flip through a book. I need to put it down, come back, whatever. So it takes me years to read even just one book. So one of my goals is to read one book before the end of the year. Not necessarily a business book, although I do need to read more of those too, but just kind of, again, filling in that TV with more, even if it's not necessarily a business or a self-help book, it's still something other than just like,
it still stimulates your
yeah,
mind
in
more
a
than,
more
like,
positive way than
yeah.
reality TV does. And so one way I'm going to do that, you said the other day how you finished your book. You were reading it on the commercials as you were watching The Bachelor.
I'm not giving up my reality TV. There's no way.
And how you were reading it during the commercials. So I thought that was a great way to, number one, make better use of my time than watching the commercials, but also to help me get through, the books more quickly. Because I'm laying there doing nothing anyway, right? As opposed to finding time to set aside actually just reading a book.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So two of these kind of go hand in hand. So, I don't know if everybody knows this, but I just got married last year in November, went on my honeymoon in February, which means which means our savings account is now non-existent. It's gone. So one of my goals for more of the long term is to start building that back up and, saving monthly, putting money aside. We, spend too much money on things we don't need to spend money on, like going to the movies or, like going to the juice shop every day or Starbucks every day or, things like that. So I just need to be more frugal and like this, keep my goals in mind, what I'm trying to do in order to motivate myself, because people will, text you and be like, oh, do you want to go to dinner? Do you want to go to the movies? And you're like, yes, but like, I really don't want to spend, $20 on one person to go see a movie. And so it's hard to find like cheaper free things to do, but that's kind of goes hand in hand with this, just kind of learning more about my community and what I can do to have fun and hang out with people without, spending a lot of money. And then in that same kind of thing, my husband and I want to travel more, and
it's still so weird when you say that.
I know. I tried to say it so naturally, and I was like, so our plan is to kind of do a trip a year, but like alternate where. So like one year we'll do an international trip, and then the next year we'll do a more local trip. So this year was our international, so next year we'll do one that's more local, and we just want to, kind of knock those places off our bucket list and travel and see the world. So that kind of goes with our savings account too, to keep that in mind and kind of say, okay, do I want to go to, all you can eat sushi for $30 a person, or do I want to cook the spaghetti I have, at home and save that money so that we can go to Australia? And just like, putting it into perspective that way and trying to force myself and him to save so that we can do the things we want to do.
And another one for me, I feel like mine, I guess this is like my theme for the year, is really, again, having more stimulating, constructive, positive, like energy and things around me and putting my energy into things. So, one of mine was to incorporate at least one podcast a day into my morning routine. I've been doing pretty well with this. I find for me on my commute is the best time. So again, instead of listening to the radio with the same songs rotated over and over and over, and that just don't really, again, put positive things into my soul and my mind, listening to podcasts. I've recently been doing bit more business related podcasts. So those have been really great for me, just learning. And so it's easy, right? Again, I find it hard for me personally when I have goals, like something I have to like do or set aside special time, but I'm already driving, I'm in the car and I'm listening to music anyway. So that's an easy thing to just turn on a podcast as opposed to the radio.
I use it too. Like I listen to podcasts like while I'm getting ready. Like I used to turn on the radio and listen to the radio, and then for a while did Pandora. And so, that's like you're saying, like it is hard to find extra time in your day when you're so busy. So kind of looking at the time you have that you're wasting, and like
do you find it hard? Sorry to cut you off.
No,
like
you're fine.
Like for me, I try that too. Like I have a friend and he'll send me like different snippets of sermons and things like that. But I try playing them, but I also want to soak in that information. When I'm getting ready in the morning, I'm kind of
scatterbrained.
Yeah, my mind's thinking, okay, when I get in the office and just everything else. So I'm not even really taking in the information. Do you find that hard, or are you like?
Well, I'm like such a multitasker anyways.
Okay.
Like I don't like to do like even like working, like I can't work in silence. Like I have to have something in the background. So
Yeah.
but I also I wouldn't listen to something that required that much focus at that time. You know what I mean? Like that's more for my bachelor podcast or the Lady Gang or you know things like that that are more casual listening. Like if I was gonna listen to something that I felt like I really needed to focus on, I probably wouldn't do it at that time. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's my thing too, like incorporating these things. Because typically, me too, like getting ready in the morning, I love having the TV on and watching TV, even if it's a show I've already seen. You know, I still get sucked in somehow. So, again, trying to do less of that and incorporate better things. But then I'm like, I really want the information. So,
Right.
that's been a hard challenge for me with implementing these new goals.
Yeah.
I don't think you did yours. I think we were kind of piggybacking.
One of them, and I've gotten better at this too, but like turning off like my work brain at home, like, you know, I'll be at dinner or something like that. I'm reading emails and I'm like, okay, this is what you know, this person needs somebody Saturday night who's going to be good for them. And like Mac will be like, hello, like you're not even talking to me. And so that's been, you know, something over the last few months I've had to kind of learn like, okay, you can reply in the morning. Like I still read them. Like I still read the emails and like kind of think in my head, oh, okay, well, this is what I'll say tomorrow. But it's been less and less of me like responding to text messages that come in after, you know, work hours or responding to emails or feeling like I have to like work on placements or, you know, things like that. Just to kind of have more of a separation of kind of work and just regular life. You know, I don't want to feel like I'm always connected to my phone, and that was kind of what Mac was saying. Like, he's like, it's like an extension of your arm, and I was like, oh. And that was kind of on the honeymoon, too. Like, I couldn't do anything, really, with it.
I know.
So, like, I didn't even carry it around with me because I had no access to anything, and I was like, I feel so free. Like, I can move my arms around. And,
that's another hard one, though, as being business owners, right? You want to be respectful of yourself and your relationships, but is there really, like, we don't ever get to put it away, you know, especially for us. I think even when we do have more staff, we won't, but it's just the two of us, so I feel like, you know, wedding days, honeymoons, having children, like, it's still always going to be there. Like, we can definitely, like, reel it in a little bit, but I don't know that we ever get that luxury.
I don't think we'll ever be able to, we could never, without communicating with the other one, be like, I'm going to turn my phone off for the day and, like, take a me day. Like, that's just not reasonable. Mm-hmm. But I think that's one of the benefits of having both of us. Like, if, you know, or like even if we're just sick or something, like I'm at home, I'm working from home, but like you're running the show.
Help, you know, lessen that load a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I don't think either one of us would ever be able to just like, especially not without notice. Like there'd be no way.
I'll kind of combine these. I think they might be my last 3 or 4. For the sake of time, into one. So I have go for more walks. Obviously, when the weather gets a little bit nicer, we've had a few days in there teasing us, and I've taken advantage of that. Just being happy and putting myself first. So, as my personal life is transitioning, I've been in a committed relationship most of my 20s, and now I'm not. So I'm trying to find what makes me happy, and I tend to worry about others, or even going through breakups and stuff. Well, how's this person gonna take it? Like, and I'm trying to
you're trying to coddle the other person and not take care of yourself,
and not just be like, this is what I want, this is what I need. Like, I worry about others.
This is what I deserve.
I worry about others so much and their feelings and what people will think of me, and so putting myself first and just finding time to just quiet others, like other people around me, and remove myself. So, like, those walks will just give me time to just be by myself, reflect, and think, and find doing the things that make me happy. So, having more time, like, whether it be going to get my nails done or, as opposed to I have to spend time with this person on the weekend because we didn't really see each other all week, but I really don't feel like, like, just.
You don't have to be, like, accountable to anyone.
Yeah, I don't know how to phrase it, but.
Just having me time and, like you're saying, focusing on yourself, doing what makes you happy, and working on, like, your personal growth, and
not dependent on, like, someone else, or
like having to check with someone, like, I want to get my nails done. Oh, did you have anything planned for us? Or, you know what I mean? Like,
and not only that, but also just, like, not feeling like I need someone there to go to a movie, or, you know what I mean? Like, I love that companionship, but, like, that can be a crutch almost for me personally. So, I'm single and
ready to mingle.
No. But just, like, I don't need anyone else there to live life, really, ultimately. Just live life, be happy, do what makes me happy, do what I want. So, also, in turn, my last one is focusing more on my career, i.e. our business. So, again, which, nothing towards you, but, you have a husband, so now, like you're saying, you have to worry about, I gotta put my phone away, and, like, that sort of thing. Like, I can really, really focus on our business to really, like, help take it to the next level, because I don't have anyone else that I have to worry about their feelings or their time or,
Right, yeah. No, I get that, and I think, too, like, just in general, like, because you have been in, a committed relationship forever, it's, like, you're always thinking about somebody else in the back of your mind, even if you don't mean to, which, like, I have to do that, but it happens naturally too, having a husband.
You love and care about them. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like you're saying, like, almost too, like, if you haven't seen the person, you feel obligated to hang out with them, but really, you really need to be focused on this. Or even when we have, like, work events on the weekend, I'm like, sorry, like, we have orientation, group interviews, all day I'll be home, Saturday, or I'll be gone Saturday 9 to 5 or 6, it's like another work day, so, which I don't feel guilty about it, and I don't think he cares because he can hang out in his man cave, but you still have that other person that you're kind of thinking about, and so it makes it harder to kind of push yourself forward.
But also on the flip side, for me, it makes it harder to motivate myself to, like, I love our job, but, like, having someone else, you're like, do I really, want to go? But, like, now that no one's there, it's like,
here I go.
Yeah, like, I want to go. Like, I want to put all my, energy into this, and I'm not, like, distracted.
Right. I think my last one, and the one I hate the most, is, so I hate cooking with a passion, which you love. I just need to, like, pay you to, like, cook for me. But, like, I hate it. There's nothing about it that I enjoy. I don't enjoy grocery shopping. I don't enjoy the preparation. I don't enjoy the cooking. I don't enjoy the cleaning up. The only part I like is the eating. So my goal now is to stop eating out so much, which I've gotten a lot better. And even Mac will say, like, when we first got together, it was like hamburger helper every night, but, like, different flavors. So I've gotten better, about, like, Pinteresting recipes, and the way I've kind of started to implement this. So my goal itself is to cook at least 4 days a week, which is
that's a big one.
A lot.
You're going for it.
So the way that I've started to implement is, number one, I make, like, a legit grocery list with, like, a meal plan. So, like, on Monday we're going to eat this, and Tuesday we're going to eat this, and Wednesday we're going to eat this. And what I do too is, like, look at my calendar. So, like, Monday night we had an event. So Monday night was pizza, Mac cook. He cooked for himself, and I kind of had to just fend for myself. But then, like, last night it was, like, spaghetti, Leanna cook. So I, like, have been very specific about my calendar when I'm going to be, out late working or at events or things like that. And then he's kind of responsible. And then the rest, I'm, like, putting exactly what we're going to have, who's going to cook it, what time I'll be home to start cooking. And I made Mac work out, like, a dishes schedule with me, because I hate doing dishes. We do not have a dishwasher in this house. So, we kind of switch off. 1 week he does dishes, then the next week I do it. So that way I know, like, if I cook, because there's nothing worse than, like, cooking, like, and you have, like, 6 pans and, like, 3 plates. And I'm like, well, I don't want to clean all this up. I just cook.
You need to find one dish recipes.
Yeah, Crock-Pots are like my
Crock-Pot recipes.
best friend.
I love my Crock-Pot.
Or I need to get like the new Instapot or whatever that I've heard such like good things about because it takes like 5 minutes or whatever to like cook everything.
Yeah.
So. But Pinterest has been my friend, and then like saving the recipes that I like, and I'm gonna start printing them out and like making like a binder of like go-to recipes that number one I can make, and number two are pretty easy that I like, and so hopefully that'll. And I've also started drinking a glass of wine while I cook. Like that's like my motivation. Like okay, if I cook, I get this glass of wine.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah, so like trying to make it more
4
fun.
nights out of the week. Oh my god.
So, just like making it more like me time, like, or I'll put a show on like on my computer while I cook so I can watch that, and I just, I hate it.
It's so fun.
Ew.
And it's so, cooking for me is very relaxed, especially baking more so than cooking, but,
I'll just eat all the batter,
cooking,
like, I have no desire to.
It's so relaxing for me. So I think in all, like, having these goals, right, help us be better from within, and then in return our business is better because we are more energized, we are more focused, we are coming into the day with a more positive attitude, and so it just works.
Yeah, and it makes us work better together because like if one of us comes in grumpy and the other one's like or like then that makes the other person grumpy, and like just overall, and working with kids, too, because we still nanny in the afternoon. Like, you cannot go to work as a nanny, like, in a bad mood, because the kids feed off of that, and then they act crazy, or you're miserable, and so, just kind of making sure your mental health is in, like, a good state is so important, just to any career, because, that's kind of the vibe you're going to put out into the world anyways, and you want to be able to put out that positivity and put out, good vibes to get those back in return.
Yeah. And so... yeah, I think we're going to keep working at this, and
we'll do an update in I don't know when, month or 2 months, or just keep watching and you'll find out, and kind of check in on all of these and see which ones we've been holding up to and which ones we are not doing the best job on.
Which one do you think you're going to fail at? Well, not fail. That's a bad word. Not fail. What's a better word?
Struggle with.
What would be the most challenging for you, and what do you think would be the most challenging for me?
For me, I think the most challenging is going to be cooking, because I just want to, like, order pizza or, like, pick up something on the way home. And then, like, sometimes you're just, well, I don't know, I'm just not in the mood. Like, I can plan it and plan it and plan it, and then I get home and I'm like, I would rather, like, gouge my eyeballs out than have to cook right now. Sure. And sometimes Max steps up, but he's not a very good cook either, so we're just in a load of trouble. For you, I was gonna say the book, but I think you can do one in a year. So I'm gonna say the walks, because it's gonna be hard to like you're saying, like, go by yourself without being like, okay, somebody come with me. Like, I don't like to do that, and I think it'll be hard to, like, when, like, the weather does get nicer, to, like, be like, okay, I've been sleeping in, relaxing, like, get up and go, do something. Mm-hmm. Your turn.
I think I would have chose cooking, but you chose that, so kind of piggybacking off of cooking is going to be saving money, because I feel like you're going to wind up eating out more than cooking.
True.
So you're not going to be saving money. And then for me... for sure, watch less TV.
That's hard.
I just don't like quiet.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way.
And again, like...
you need to buy one of those, like, adult coloring books that's, like, mind-numbing, and then you can listen to your podcast and, like, mind-numbingly, like, color.
I guess.
You sound excited.
I know. It's going to be for sure watching TV.
Yeah. That would be... I have no desire to do that.
I wonder, maybe, like...
limit it like kids do. Like, you get an hour of TV a day.
Oh my gosh. So what do I do on the weekends?
Walk.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to...
and read that one dang book.
But then I get bored. How do you just read?
You must be reading the wrong books. Like,
I read really good books. I do, but then I'm just like, okay, so I had jury duty on Monday, right?
Right.
So I was sitting there I had to get there at 8. We wound up getting out early, about, what was it, 11:30. So that's a what?
3 hours.
3 hour span. And I read a lot, but even still, I'm like, all right, let me, like, just look around. Like, I kind of, like, I could not read just that whole 3 hours.
I would have been like...
And it is a good book, but I still just have to kind of, like, break away from it. And, like,
Right.
you get bored of reading, even though it's a good
Well,
book.
they
it's the
say, like...
active reading that I get bored with.
Like, what they do with kids, too, is, like, in school you have... Like, I learned this teaching. Like, you do something for 45 minutes, and then you need to switch it up, because that's the way the brain works. That's how long people can focus. So maybe you're a very, like, planner. Like, structure a Saturday. Like, 45 minutes of reading. Go for, an hour and a half walk or whatever. 45 minutes, whatever. Come back, do this, like, organize your closet. I don't know. You know, break up your day like that and kind of plan it ahead of time so that you're not like, what do I want to do? I'm going to lay on the couch and watch TV.
Yeah. That's how it normally goes.
Yeah, like, force yourself to, like, maybe do the walk first thing, in the morning so that you're up and you're out, and then that way you're already kind of going.
Yeah. Well, we shall see in a month or so how we do.
You guys are now all of our accountability partners.
Yes.
That's another thing I think with goals in general. Like, you have to be accountable to someone or have some way to kind of measure those goals. Otherwise, I could say, I want to be a millionaire. That's my goal. When I'm 99, I could be like, well, it's still my goal. Like, I never gave up on it. But, like, if you don't have a way to measure it or steps to get there or accountability, then you're never going to, accomplish those goals. So.
Yeah. So comment, check in, send us messages, ask us how we're doing with our goals.
Or send us your goals, too. Like, share with us. We love to hear.
Or how you do, like, if some of these are similar, like, how you approach your goals and, just bettering yourself.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you. Bye.